Hello, BookTube. I had a whole bunch of videos planned for this evening, but I'm going to have to cut them all short because I also got a sudden, very short deadline writing assignment. And as you all know, my answer is always yes. Sometimes that works against me. But I have a small mail haul that I thought we'd go through at least so you don't forget my face. So it's 4 packages, no boxes. We'll just see what we have here. Might be something worth nattering about. But I don't know that I'm going to be able to make another video tonight. Oh, fantastic. Oh, God, it's about bloody time. Okay, this is something I've been meaning to talk to you about forever, and haven't had the opportunity. This comes out in late January, and it is actually something I need to write about. I'm going to be reviewing this. This is by Michael Lineback and Jonathan Ward, and it is Bringing Columbia Home, a new definitive history of the mission and disaster of the Columbia Space Shuttle. That I'm going to be reviewing, and I've been waiting for a copy. This is the book that I've been mentioning cryptically in every mail haul, where I've been saying, gee, I hope such and such arrives soon. This is it. And I'm a big NASA fan. I'm a big space exploration fan. My heart was in my throat the whole time that story was unfolding in 2003. So I've never written about it before, so I can't wait to do so. And then let's see. Here's this next one. What is this next one? Oh, great. Okay, fantastic. This is by Andrea Barnett. This comes out, I think, in April? Mid-March. This is Visionary Women. And you can tell who they are from the cover. This is Jane Jacobs, Jane Goodall, Alice Waters, and Rachel Carson. And I'm just a sort of a... it's not so much a multi-part biography from what I've been able to read. It's more of just an inquiry into them, why they sparked the popular imagination, what their achievements were, what their legacy is. And I would also love to review this, but we shall see. I know that I'm reviewing the Columbia book, and the Columbia book is one of those odd examples. When you've been at this as long as I have, it's one of those odd examples where I already know all the facts of the story, so I'll be reading the book, and what I'll be reviewing is mainly the author's approach rather than so in a case like that, I always have to decide, well, okay, you've got 800 words. What are you going to do? Now, if the author writes like an angel, then my problem is solved right off the bat. All I have to do is just convey to the reader with copious quotations that this is a beautifully written book, well worth their time. But there's also going to be a strong temptation on my part on this subject and a whole bunch of other subjects to simply talk about the subject and sort of leave the book to one side. And you have to, when you've got only 800 words, you sort of have to strike a balance there. I will manage to do it. It's not exactly my first rodeo. This next one I requested. This comes out in February. It's Down the River Unto the Sea. New novel by Walter Mosley. First one in, I think, 10 years. Okay, it doesn't really say, but it's the first one of his in a long time. I'd be willing to bet 10 years. Let's see here. Joe King Oliver lives a quiet life running his sleepy PI agency with the help of a tough yet sweet daughter and trying to forget the brutality-soaked stint in Rikers that nearly broke him. But when he has the chance to bring down the corrupt system that not only wrongly imprisoned him years earlier, but has now also ensnared a young black militant journalist accused of killing 2 on-duty police officers, King knows he must take the chance to clear both their names no matter the cost. I have always really liked Walter Mosley, and when an author takes, a popular author who had money rolling in, movie adaptations, books always sold well, when someone like that takes a long break from writing, I'm intensely interested in the book they write when they come back. I'm intensely interested to see if this has the feel of something that was a hook that drew a well and truly retired author out of retirement because he had to write this story, or if, on the other hand, if it's a story that feels like it's been germinating for 10 years. Either way, I'm on board. I can't wait to do it. I'm hoping that I can review it. These are all 3 so far. Right squarely in the bullseye of reviewable books. I mean, I have Open Letters Review, the new online home of the Open Letters project that I'm hoping you've all bookmarked and are considering writing for. I have that always, so it's not like if I say I'm hoping to review a book, I'm saying that if somebody doesn't pay me to review it, I don't get a chance to review it. Luckily, we live in the age of the internet, so I can review it for an audience that I hope by the end of this time next year will be nice and healthy. But in the meantime, there's always a bigger audience, and you always hope when you've got a lot to say or think out loud about a book, you really want the larger audience. So all 3 of these are prime candidates. Let's see what the 4th one is. This will be the last one for today. Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. Okay. I requested this as well. This comes out in the spring, I think. Okay. Okay. It's from Penguin Random House, and the publicity pub sheet says that it's dark, creepy, mysterious, and scary as you-know-what. And I'm not sure I want to read that in a publicity sheet. If that's the best you can do, then maybe working with the English language in any capacity is probably not for you. At least I know now that it's really scary. So this, where are my details though? Here's the publication schedule for the authors. Okay, and it's a husband and wife writing team from Sweden. All right, well, okay, it doesn't really say. I haven't actually shown you the book, have I? It comes out in the spring, though. No, it's March. It's Sandman by Lars Kepler. That Lars Kepler is the pen name of a husband and wife writing team. It's a thriller. It's a serial killer thriller that came out. There they are. Came out in Scandinavia years ago. I think 5 or 6 years ago. Let's see what we got here. 2012. Yeah, and the story is sounds gripping. Sounds like if it's done well, it will really. Well, here, let me read it to you. The description is fantastic. Late one night outside Stockholm, an emaciated young man named Mikael is found wandering. 13 years earlier, he went missing along with his younger sister. They were long thought to have been victims of Sweden's most notorious serial killer, Jurek Walter, currently serving a life sentence in a maximum security psychiatric hospital. The man tells the police that his sister is still alive and being held by someone he knows only as the Sandman. Years earlier, Detective Inspector Juna Linna hunted Jurek and ensured his capture, but he always thought that Jurek had an accomplice. And now he is certain the killer wasn't working alone. He knows that any chance of rescuing Mikael's sister depends on getting Jurek to talk, and that only one person capable of this is Inspector Saga Bauer, a 27-year-old prodigy. She will have to go under deep cover in the psychiatric ward where Jurek is imprisoned, and she will have to find a way to get to the psychopath before it's too late and before he gets inside her head. So you have the de rigueur echoes of Silence of the Lambs, but you have... it sounds like a very taut thriller on the outside, too. In this case, an accomplice instead of, in the case of Silence of the Lambs, an acolyte, a worshiper, a copycat. So great, that's fantastic. I love it. I love it periodically, like the Swallows to Capistrano. Pretty much every year, at least once, one of these internationally famous thrillers will be translated into English, one of these big, thick things, hoping that they will strike fire. And you never know. And I read them all. I gobble them up. Sometimes they really please me. And sometimes they very much disappoint me. Sometimes they end up, in translation anyway, seeming downright boring. So anyway, there you go. There's The Sandman, a thriller. Then Down the River Unto the Sea, which I'm greatly looking forward to, although the unto in the title makes me a little weary. Then Visionary Women, 4 groundbreaking, world-changing women. And finally, Bringing Columbia Home, a new history of the Columbia disaster. And there you go. That's all over the map, of course, but more controllable than last time. And this might be the only video for today. I need to get to work and do a chunk of writing for money. And then I'll be right back, and I'll be all yours. But in the meantime, I will see you soon. Thank you, Book 2.